This video is for the Chapter 11 number 1 opener, and I know that a lot of students struggle on these types of problems, so I thought it would be good to just go through them, and then you can get the help that you need. So negative 1/3 squared is negative 1/3 times negative 1/3, so that would be positive 1/9. Root 2 squared is root 4, and 3 squared is 9. And so this is 1/9 plus 2/9, which is 3/9, and that simplifies to 1/3. And pause and try a problem on your own, and then press play if you need to. And on your version, there'll be jumbled answers at the bottom so that you can make sure that you're getting them right. So here, this 5 you can think of as 5/1, and that 7 is 7/1. So this will be 5 root 3 over 4 plus 7 root 3 over 4. And then since they both have a 4 as a common denominator, I can add them to get 12 root 3 over 4. And then since the 4 divides evenly into the 12, the answer is 3 root 3. This one we need to change the square root of 20 into simple radical form. So I'm going to use 4 times 5 to split the 20 up, and the root 45 will be 9 times 5. The square root of 4 is 2, and the 5 stays under the radical. The square root of 9 is 3, and the 5 stays under the radical. So that is 6 square root 5 plus 21 square root 5, which is 27 square root of 5. Three root 10 times 3 root 5 is 9 root 50 minus the square root of 2. 9 root 50, can use 25 times 2 for the square root of 50. The square root of 25 is 5. So that is 45 square root 2 minus 1 square root 2. And you could put a 1 here if that makes sense to you. So 45 root 2 minus 1 root 2 is 44 root 2. 7/5 minus 2, you'll want to make a common denominator to do what's in the parentheses first. And since this has a 5 on the bottom, this needs to have a 5. So top and bottom gets multiplied by 5. And 7/5 minus 10/5 is negative 3/5 cubed, which means negative 3/5 times negative 3/5 times negative 3/5, or negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 27, and 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. And that fraction does not simplify because 27 factors to 3 factors of 3, and 125 is 3 factors of 5, and so there would be no common factors. Here, exponents first, so 2/3 of 16, and I may as well write that 16/1 minus 19/6. So that's 32/3 minus 19/6. And I'll need to multiply top and bottom by 2 in order to make this be a 6. So that's 64/6 minus 19/6. 45/6. And let's see, at least a 3 goes into both of those. So 45 divided by 3 is 15, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. It's a good question to just double check on a calculator if you were doing this on your own and they weren't jumbled answers, or maybe you didn't get to one of the jumbled answers and you wanted to try to prove me wrong or figure out if you were wrong. So you could do 2 divided by 3, parenthesis, 4 squared, get that number, and then subtract 19/6. And the calculator will do the 19/6 before this subtraction because it'll do division before subtraction. And there's 7.5, and then you could check, is 15 divided by 2 the same value? So I know that I have it correct. I could check my answer on 7/5 minus 2 by doing 7/5 minus 2, getting that answer, and raising it to the 3rd power. And there's that decimal, and then if I do negative 27 divided by 125, I get the same decimal. So I know that these answers are right, even though the calculator doesn't easily give me the fraction answer. All right, moving on. Try to do these ones on your own and come back to see if you have it right. So 3 cubed is 27, and 2 cubed is 8, minus 5/2. And multiplying top and bottom by 4. If you like to show this, you could. And then you'd get 27/8 minus 20/8, which equals 7/8. Here, 4/1, 3/1, so it's 4/5 minus 9/10. And this needs to be multiplied by 2, so I get 8/10 by 2/2 minus 9/10, which is negative 1/10. And again, you could check that. By doing 4 times 4 times 1/5 minus 3 times 3/10, and there's your negative 1/10. Same decimal. You could even check these square root ones because you could do 3 square root of 20 plus 7 square root of 45. Oops, I messed that up. Need to get out from under the square root. Plus 7 square root of 45. And there's the decimal for it, which supposedly should be equal to 27 times the square root of 5. So since those two decimals are the same, then I know that the question and my answer are equivalent to each other. And you could do the same thing with any of the other problems. All right, good luck. Please keep working hard.